Okay, this is kindergarten sight words, and my daughters, I have three 5-year-old daughters if you've never been to my channel, and I have hashtag Ankeny Triplets where every once in a while I'll put something up about them. So they just started kindergarten, and they've asked the parents to work with the girls on reading and sight words, and I've read that you should read to them 3 times a day is ideal, or have them read 3 times a day. And something that you might think, like, gosh, this guy's intense. They're in kindergarten, give them a break. And it's really just that I have an English undergrad. I have some graduate work in linguistics and rhetoric, and this is just something fun for me. So I'm pretty excited that the school's so up on the reading, and it's a lot of it comes from Iowa's new law that requires that there be a certain reading proficiency by the 3rd grade. So what I'm going to do in this video is go over 3 things. First of all, what are sight words? It's a new term for me. I hadn't heard it before. Normally there's about 100 of them, but the girls right now are looking at 33, and this just happens to be the one that's in their classroom. So we'll go over those. The sample sentences, I just made up some sentences that have the sight words in them, but I also put some blanks in there to make it a little bit fun, keep it entertaining for them, and we'll see if they like it. They may not. And I'll talk to you about how I read to one of the girls last night and how it worked and didn't work. And then some games that you can play. We were given a good sheet of options and things that can help them learn them. So first, here are the 33 sight words, and I want to make sure I talk about serial recall and free recall. So sight words are those words, as I understand them, that are high frequency that you'll see all the time, but there isn't necessarily a picture with them. So it's very difficult to say what an and is, or what a here is, or what a went is. You can say something like up versus down, and you can point, but there's no real picture that does a good job, like you could have a picture of certain nouns like an elephant, a giraffe, or something like that. What I want to talk about, though, is the difference between serial and free recall. So serial recall is remembering things in an order. So the pharmacology book I wrote, that's learning 200 drugs in a specific serial order, because if you forget one, then you know exactly where it is, and then you can attach other medications as they come on the market to it. In this case, because there's so few words, there's only 33, I think that it's still possible to do serial recall with this. And that would just be more for, I think, the parent. I don't think you have to have the kids getting to 33. But this way, as a parent, you can say, okay, well, I remember we finished at play yesterday, so that means we're going to do maybe the next 8. And we'll do the, they, this, up, we, went, will, you, and so forth. So I'll post a video of a playlist that you can use, and I'll record each sight word individually, and that way you can put them in any order you want, or you can use the shuffle mode, or just use them alphabetically, and I'll put a link to that after I put it up. But to me, I would learn them as a parent, as I would just memorize them, and it's not necessarily that hard because we're not using all the letters of the alphabet, and there are some words in the other words. So A is in an is in and then comes at. But I also made sure to alphabetize the words within each one. So you've got A, and then T comes after N, so alphabetically that would come next. Then there's B and by, so the E comes before Y, and then cans alone. Day, down, and these are alphabetical, and so forth. Her is in here, and then you see the is in they, and we is in went. So I think it's good to learn these 33. That way, when you are reading with them, you can see the word, and instead of saying it for them, you just point to it. So what I did with Rianne was I started pointing to the word, and she would try to get it. Okay, be, then by, then and. But she got kind of tired of that pretty quick. So I would consider doing it for maybe a page or 2 and then do the rest of the reading, because she fatigued really easily. That, and because the iPad comes after the book, she's kind of looking at that iPad like recess. So, but that's the first thing. Make sure to think about serial and free recall. Free recall is just remembering things out of order. And a lot of the videos I saw that were up there do this kind of order, but then you just memorize it in that order. And I think it's important to be able to memorize it in, to always know which words are on this list. Okay. Second thing was the blank sentences. So I just was sitting down watching something. I don't know what we were watching last night. It was something about like Black Ops or something like that. Some Netflix something or other. And what I did was, to make it engaging, or to try to make it engaging, I put blanks and tried to take a little bit of the focus off of the actual sight words. So I would point to the first letter, and then one of the girls would say A, and then I'd say, okay, well, who went to an, and this might be too much for him. I don't know. I was just messing with it. But I'll give you an example of what it would look like. And you would pause it here and maybe fill it in like a Mad Libs if you wanted to. Okay. But I just kind of went with it. And so you would fill it in as a prince went to an old cottage and ate at Hansel's house. I like to be alone by the fireplace. And just made these really simple sentences. Now, you could just go to this one and have them read, or if they like something else, I don't know, just messing around with it. And then I'd use the sight words for the next thing. Same thing. I put the blank sentences here so that you can use this if that's something that the child likes, or I put the sample sentences. And actually, this was really more for me, trying to keep them from jumping on the bed or jumping on the couch. Okay. And then the third thing was the games. So you've got Scrabble, and for $6 I was able to buy just the tiles, and those are really small, so you want to be very careful with them. I don't know what the ages are for Scrabble, so maybe keep it in the box so that you can always make sure that you have 100. But what I found is that it doesn't work out exactly right for these 33 words, so you wouldn't be able to make them all. But you could have a fun game in making some sight words from the Scrabble tiles. And another recommendation that the teacher had, I didn't put it on the slide, was to make a memory game. So to take 66 cards, or maybe take 66 3x5 cards, cut them in half, and then put the sight words on each. So you, in, and so forth.